This podcast is powered by Roberts Media Group, your resource for podcast development. For more programming and advertising opportunities, please visit us at robertsmediagroup.co.
I am bad and bougie, and I'm acting like I'm cute, and I'm so
You are tuning in to the Bad and Bougie Moms podcast show. Guys, this is Britt with the Bad and Bougie Moms podcast. Today is August the 6th, 2020, and it's actually my husband's birthday, so definitely give a shout out to him. He's 39 and fine, so happy birthday, boo. All right, so on today's episode, we're pretty much just going to get into how to actually prepare for virtual learning. I know a lot of us came down to the decision to either have our kids go back to school or actually become full-time teachers again and teach them in the home. So this podcast is just going to cover a couple of tips and tricks just to get the kids ready, get their mindset prepared to start learning and soaking in all the information, and also us as parents, just getting us organized and seeing how we can, be there the best way to support our kids. But before we get started, I'm definitely going to share a couple of things that's been going on in my life. So, of course, I mentioned that today is my husband's birthday. However, for the month of August and September, it's definitely busy for my family. So with him, he definitely kicks off our little birthday celebration for August the 6th, and then on August the 21st is our actual wedding anniversary. So we definitely celebrate that. I think it would be 3 years that we've been married now. So yeah, it feels great. I'm not tired yet, so that's good. And then on August the 28th is my birthday. Shout out to the Virgos, you know what I'm saying? We the best. And then August the 30th is Mason's birthday. He'll be 10 years old this year. So the big hitting the double digits. He feel like he should have a cell phone now. I told him, he just have to stick to his iPad messages until we feel like he is mature enough. So he was okay with that. He's probably still going to ask for a cell phone once his birthday gets here. But yes, so August 30th is Mason's birthday. And then September the 7th is Kaylin's birthday. She's the oldest out of our girls. She would be the bit 13. She's like me. She's super chill. She's like, yo, I just want some roller skates. Like, that's it. Like, I'm good on everything else, but I would like to have some roller skates. Oh, and cheesecake. She definitely loves cheesecake. And then after that is our other daughter's Reagan's birthday. Her birthday is at the end of September. I want to say September the 22nd. I have to look at my calendar. I always get her and Kaylin confused. And then after that is the smallest birthday. His birthday is October the 10th. So yeah. So from August, October is definitely, celebration month for us. We enjoy it. However, with the whole social distancing going on and, how everything is shut down in this world, we just having to try to find ways to be creative and just, make sure we still have fun. So yes, so shout out to August. We love it. And again, happy birthday, Rashawn. All right. So next up that I want to talk about, I'm not sure if you guys have been experiencing anything as far as delays with FedEx, but Lord Jesus, I'm getting pissy even thinking about it. So I'm in the process of redoing the boys' room, and I ordered these beds from Wayfair, I want to say almost 3 weeks ago. I knew that they were supposed to come this week. Well, actually next week sometime, but not next week. No, they were supposed to come last week sometime. And I keep on, looking at the FedEx app or whatever, and the FedEx app keep on saying, well, the first day it said that they attempted to deliver it and no one was here. That's a lie, because we ain't going nowhere. Somebody was here. So I end up calling FedEx, and, she was like, oh, well, yeah, they actually didn't try to deliver it. It was actually still on the truck. Why y'all gotta lie? Why y'all up here on the app saying that y'all tried to deliver it and it's still at the warehouse or whatever, the truck? And she was like, oh, well, sometimes the app is just slower, you know what, whatever, fuck that. Like, I just want my shit at this point. So the next day come, she was like, hey, someone's going to be out there tomorrow. All right. Next day come, nobody comes. I have another update saying that it's going to be delivered the next day. So, of course, I got time, because I ain't doing nothing else. I called her back. Well, I called FedEx back, and I'm like, hey, it did it again. They said, that someone tried to deliver it. No one was here. We're still here. What's up? She was like, oh, well, let me reach out to dispatch and see what's going on. So again, they're saying that it's still at the warehouse. So today's day 3. I am waiting for my package. I actually have the windows open so I can look and see, if they're coming. They said that it requires a signature. That's fine. I will sign off my stuff. It's just the point now. I just need all my items, because the beds, I have 2 beds that's on this FedEx truck, and I also have a table that I am in desperate need of, because I am ready to go ahead and get this project started. So yeah, so that's my whole FedEx debacle, whatever. Then next up, y'all know how I love to do my Target shopping, and Target has failed me for the first time. So last week, I did my little drive up Target app shopping and stuff. Get to the register, to the little checkout screen, click checkout, shit froze. I'm like, all right, cool. It freezes up. It just goes blank. I didn't get a confirmation or anything. So I went back. I did everything again, got my confirmation, all that. So next thing you know, I checked my bank account, and I seen that they charged me twice, because apparently the first order went through and the second order went through. So I'm like, all right. So of course, thinking this should be a simple fix, instead of, having to go through drive-through now, because obviously I got to go in so I can get the shit corrected. I'm like, all right, all I got to do is just return the items that I don't need, because it's a double order. So I get there, I tell the young lady, hey, it's a system glitch. I just need to return these items, whatever. Y'all, it took me a good hour to get this girl to just take the extra items back. So she was like, okay, let me get my manager. I'm not sure if I'm able to do this because it's on the app. I'm like, yo, like, if I just need to walk out and then walk back in with this stuff and say, I don't want it, like, I would do that. However we can make this more simpler for you, like, you just let me know. And so she ends up taking the stuff off. She's saying, oh, okay, well, you should see. Well, first of all, she said that the money actually was not taken out your account yet. It's just a credit hold. I'm like, no, girl, look at, and I pulled up my account like, no, girl, look at this. It says dash this amount. Like, no, that's taken out. My account is less. Like, that's taking it out. And she was like, oh, well, the hold will go away in 3 to 4 days. All right. So she did her little figuration, whatever she tried to do. Look at my account next time. Shit's still there. Shit still says dash the amount. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and call this corporate customer service, because I don't got time. So I called corporate customer service. Luckily, I got some little smart girl on the phone that's good at math, because she was able to look at the item. She was like, oh yeah, so we owe you, y'all, it was like at least $150 that they owed me, that the other little girl at the store didn't do. She was like, yeah, we owe you this much or whatever. And then once the shipment comes to your home, it's going to be a double shipment. So just take it back and then, just get your refund. The same shit I said before. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So yes. So at the end of the day, I got my money back. Shout out to Target. However, I am very, very skeptical about using that app, because I do not want that to happen again. But yeah, she said that I wasn't the only one who actually went through it. So I'm assuming it was something going on with the app, but whatever. So lastly, before we go ahead and get into the meat and bones of the podcast, I just want to let y'all know that I am not ready for the kids to go back to school. I do not feel like being responsible. I like the fact that they can wake up on their own, cook, make cereal, cook them a little bit of oatmeal, and play their games. I ain't lying. My son, Mason, he has to be logged on for school at 7:40 in the morning. Who got time for that? And then Kaylin, she has to be logged in at 9. So the only good thing I can see coming out of this is that, yes, I am definitely back on my regular schedule for the rest of the year. And I get to work out in the morning while Mason starts school because, of course, I mean, we're trying to teach him how to wake up by alarm, but they ain't working right now. So I have to be the one to actually wake him up. And since I'm already up, might as well go ahead and work out. So that's the only thing that I see that can come out that's good about this. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna cover is what items should you purchase for the kids' virtual school area. So the first item that you definitely should purchase that, I mean, I think everybody should know because it is pretty important, is having a good chair. Something that is very comfortable for the kids, especially since they're going to probably be at the computer for extended amounts of time. I know here in my district, the way they're doing virtual learning is pretty much a live class the entire time. They switch classes like they would normally do if they were in school. So they will log on, they'll have their first break, they'll switch. However, I don't know if it's another Google link or someone just pops up. I'll find that out on Monday, but at the end of the day, they will be in the chairs for a very long time. So make sure you get a chair that's very comfortable, that's, the correct size for them, that they can have correct posture. Two good places to actually look for chairs will probably be Amazon and Staples. I'm more so for Staples, girl. I feel like I like to be able to go in and actually see the chair and see, the make of it and, how it looks versus, you ordering from Amazon, you just looking at the stars, like, all right, it got a 5-star, I'm gonna go ahead and order this shit. And then you come and it's like in 20 pieces and you're like, all right, how am I gonna put this chair together? So yeah, so I personally would say Staples, but you can definitely get great chairs from Amazon. All right, number 2 is purchasing a reliable computer. So my pick on this, especially for students and learning, will definitely be the Google Chromebooks. I know that a majority of the schools that's here in Georgia, they do work on a Chromebook. Thankfully, thank God, our district is actually providing Chromebooks to the kids this year for virtual learning. I know for a fact that's not how it is everywhere. Like some people, school districts are making them actually go and buy computers, which that is crazy to me because it's like, all right, where's your finance department at? Like, you got to prepare for the unknown. So y'all didn't have no grant. Y'all didn't, was saving money to the side. It is 2020. A lot of things are going digital. So why you guys can't supply your students with computers, but that's neither here nor there. Anywho, so I would suggest Google Chromebook. We actually already had bought one for the kids prior to all this happening, so they know the platform. It's super easy. They can't be doing crazy stuff on it or whatever. So Google Chromebook would definitely be a good buy. Also, I'm an Apple's product girl. Like I record my podcast on a MacBook, but I also own a Windows PC, which I love. So anything Windows, of course, Apple, and also HP is really good, especially for kids. And then they have like humongous sizes with like the full keyboards on there. So if they need to be able to see a large screen versus a little 14-inch, definitely look into that. All right, so number 3 is, of course, you need to set up a separate workspace for your kids to do their work. So, we don't want them laying in the bed, laying on the couch, whatever, because first of all, it messes up their posture. Second of all, that's where you sleep. You're not even supposed to do things in the bed. Pause, not that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't supposed to eat or anything in the bed. You go to bed to sleep. So make sure you set up a separate workplace. We want them to be able to focus throughout the day. All right, number 4, it's very important unless you want to learn, the same things your kids are learning at the time they are attending school. You definitely want to invest in some headphones. I mean, I personally don't want to be learning about atoms and the environment, especially while I'm working. So definitely purchase some headphones. I would suggest, of course, not to purchase Bluetooth, so the kids won't have to worry about, oh my God, is my Bluetooth headphones charging or whatever. So make sure it's the ones that actually have the wires. You can find those at Target. They are on like sale for like $12, if that. Earbuds will work too. Just the one that you can actually hook up to the computer versus having a Bluetooth connection. Guys, so next up we're going to talk about how to set up and organize your learning space. Hold on, I need to drink some water. Oh, please. Lord Jesus, that was amazing. All right, so here are some tips about how to set up and organize your learning space. So the first thing first, as always, get your child's opinion on where they would like to be. I mean, their little personalities do matter. So if, you might have a kid who would say, hey, Mom, I just want something in my room. I'm cool learning by myself. I can stay on task. I don't need to be out in the open. Just set me up there. Or you can have the total opposite, where you have a kid who likes to be in the midst, and they were like, nah, I need to see what's all going on, throughout the day. I want to see folks in the dining room. I want to see what you're eating for breakfast and for lunch. You can definitely set them up in a common area. So for example, my daughter, Kaylin, she is a 7th grader. She's super disciplined, and she honestly don't care about being in the midst. So, probably having a small area in her room where she can, set up her computer and desk and her items and things like that will definitely probably be great for her. Now that Mason, that middle son, total opposite. He wants to be in the midst, and he can't stay on task to save his life. So I would definitely either have him right by me, or he can be like in an open area where it's people, constantly walking by, just checking on him, making sure that he is staying on task. So 2 totally different personalities, but yes, the first thing you want to do is definitely get the opinion of your, of the kids or where they would like to be. So my tips on that, as far as when, excuse me, my tips on that, as far as, when you're setting up the work area and just making sure that everything is squared away for them. If your child is quiet and self-sufficient, most likely, they're in middle school or high school, just make sure that if you do set them up in their own room, or, they have their door closed or things like that, just check on them periodically just to make sure, they know that you're there if they need any assistance. As far as the smaller kids, elementary school, preschool age, definitely set them up in a common area. If they're at the point where they can actually be with you in the same area, that would actually be cool as well. Of course, this would just be able to give them a little bit more support, that if they have any questions or if they don't understand anything while the classes are going on, they can definitely turn to you and ask questions if needed. But definitely for both kids, make sure they take enough breaks and they stretch, especially sitting in a computer chair for so long. Neck pain is definitely real. As adults, we know that working on computers all the time. So make sure that they stretch and they, take breaks, drink water, things like that. Because, neck strain is real in these streets. Okay, so next we're going to cover how to set up your learning area for success. So first things first, of course, you guys know I preach this all the time. Keep it to a minimum and organize. Like if you keep shit to a minimum, you make sure things are clean, they stay tidy, everything has its place, it's in its place, you would definitely set yourself up for success, I promise. So of course, going back to the whole keeping it clean, number one is keep it clean. We want the kids to have the best environments to stay and remain focused. So keeping it clean, no distractions, make sure once they do finish their work for the day, they actually clean up their area so they can get, a great start for the next day. We don't want papers to be around on the table, sprawl out, pencils, things like that. Even as I'm about to say parentals, but even as adults, we know, when you leave your office area, when we were in the office, if you leave your office area messy for the day and you come in, you don't get that good feeling. You get like, I know. I got this feeling all the time when I was working in the office, but you come in, you see the shit on your desk and you're like, damn, I got to do this shit all over again. Like it's a hamster wheel. But if you take time, put your stuff up, for the day, and then you come in and you just have a clean slate, it definitely changes your mindset for the day. So we want to take that in with the kids as well. Make sure they keep their area tight and clean so they know that the next time they wake up in the morning, it's a fresh start. They can clear their space in their head, mind, whatever. So definitely keep it clean. Number 2 is store high-use items like pencils, crayons, or paper, either in filing cabinets or in buckets on the desk or also on the wall, whichever one you prefer. Not sure. It's pretty much going to matter on where you have your desk set up. So if you have your desk set up near a wall, you can definitely add some shelves to your wall just to kind of place the items they use on a daily, so they will have so they'll have a home when they clean up. If you don't have a wall near your desk area, you can definitely buy containers or little buckets that you can place the items in, so they'll know where they go. So that's definitely a go-to to how to store high-use items. All right, number 3 is either implement a corkboard or a whiteboard somewhere in the kids' virtual area, so they'll be able to keep up with important dates and or reminders. Also, grab sticky notes, of course. I mean, that's the thing. We sticky note queens over here. So, even though that it is a digital learning platform, you would definitely, need to remember stuff that happens, throughout the day. If you have a due date or anything like that. So placing, small board, large board in an area where they can kind of just take quick notes, stick it up there so they can remember, will definitely be a plus. All right, so number 4, if your space allows, definitely set up different areas in your home to complete the work. So for example, you can have a project area, a reading area, work area, and also like a chill area. Just like us, kids definitely get restless when they're in one spot all day long. So, and also studies show that if you work in different areas, it enhances the ability for you to remember the shit that you're studying on. So definitely, if you have the space in the home, even if it's not a large space, just do at least a little bit just to change up the scenery. I know for me, when I'm working at my desk, I definitely will sometimes, grab my laptop and go downstairs and work in the dining area. Yeah, it's the dining area, but at least I'm changing the scenery. I'm able to open up the windows, look at a different area outside versus looking out in my backyard. So just trying to change it up. Just, of course, give their mind a rest from being on the computer all the time. Grabbing a good book, making a little corner nook to read. Kids love shit like that. I mean, I like stuff like that. So that would definitely be something that you might want to actually look into. All right. So, I'm about to say last but not least, but this is not last. All right. So number 5 is, of course, you need a printer and you need printer paper. even though it's all digital, there are some things that you might need a hard copy of. And also on the flip side, some kids actually learn better with hard copies. So things that, like, for example, things you might need to print out is the syllabus for a class, or also study guides for the kids, if they would rather, have something they can write notes on while they're actually doing the digital learning. So definitely, invest in a printer. Honestly, printers don't even cost that much. I normally buy mine from Staples. You probably can get like a actually good one for like maybe $150. Like, that's on the top end. I know they definitely have some for like 70 or 60, but of course they're all Wi-Fi based now. So all you have to do is just search for the computer on your laptop, and then it should just connect. It's not really that hard to set up, to be honest. But definitely invest in a printer. So you guys will have the option to print out information. All right. And last but not least is actually creating either online or buying a paper calendar. Of course, having a calendar is to be able to keep up with important dates, but having a calendar can actually help us as parents too. But I will talk more about that later. All right, so the last gem I'm going to drop for this episode is how to get ready for virtual learning as a parent. So here are a couple of tips just to get a jump start on prepping for virtual learning to ensure a smooth and successful year. I know for us, there are actually, I think we're only going to be virtual learning for the first 9 weeks, and then we'll have the option to go into the schools, to the actual school setting. But I know it might be some people out there who choose to do virtual learning for the whole year. So this would definitely help you, just kind of get a jump start on just making sure you're organized as far as when it comes to the virtual learning atmosphere. All right, so the first thing you will want to do is set up a family email that has a calendar attached. So, for instance, Outlook email. Of course, my favorite is Gmail because it's super simple and it's easy to integrate as far as with devices. So you definitely want to set up an email. And honestly, you guys, I can't stress this enough. This is a must-have for me because it does literally make everything easier since it's virtual. The reason why it is a must-have is because the family email will ensure that you do not miss out on important correspondence from the school. Plus, if you need to make like a virtual conference with the teacher, whatever, most likely since they are going to be working on the Google platform as well, it'll definitely be easy for you to schedule a Google Meet or a Zoom call just to check in to make sure your kid is doing great. So definitely set up a family email calendar. If your kids have their own email address, make sure that they can actually view the calendar so they'll know what's going on as well. Or if not, just make sure that they, have some type of access to the calendar. An extra tip for the whole Gmail calendar and email is that make sure you, of course, put important dates on there outside of that, but also, put things on there. So, like for instance, game night or the dinner menu, lunch menu, stuff like that. So the kids will actually have something to look forward to. And also, if your kids are like me who likes to eat, that's definitely another way for them to make sure they actually look at the calendar. Because I had a calendar out there, a family calendar for years, and no one looked at it. And I'm like, yo, this is how I keep up with all your stuff. But once I started putting things on there like they like, oh, we're going to the mall today, we're going to get our nails done, things like that, they actually, look at the calendar. So definitely put things, just something that will keep them motivated to kind of, stay on task. And also this builds character for when they're when they get older to learn how to actually, work and learn by using the calendar. Extra tip, which I actually already went over, was definitely the menu thing. Again, it's still school at the end of the day. They actually give a cafeteria menu at the beginning of the school year. So, treat your home just like the school. Say, hey, Monday through Friday, this is what y'all eating for lunch. Place it on the calendar. You shouldn't have to ask me. Go look at the calendar if you want to know what you're eating for Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Everybody know that. But yes, definitely put it on the calendar. All right. Number 2 is make sure that you download all the communication apps that the teachers are going to be on. Of course, this is a no-brainer. A lot of teachers don't pick up the phone and call anymore. So definitely make sure you ask the teacher which platform they would like to use as far as to stay in some type of communication during the virtual learning time. Some of the apps that I actually worked on was Class Dojo, Blooms, and Remind. Class Dojo and Blooms were honestly my favorite too. Class Dojo is definitely geared to the younger crowd, where they can actually get rewards as far as having good behavior, things like that. Blooms is more so it's a more so, I would say, like a high school level app versus the Class Dojo. But both of the app platforms are really good. So just make sure you ask the teacher which platform they enjoy, and also get the class code so you can make sure that you're in the correct place. All right, so you guys, last but not least, make sure you give yourself grace. Everything won't be perfect, as we know. This is definitely new for all of us, but if you give yourself grace, just know that it is going to be another day. If shit doesn't get done that day, don't beat yourself up about it. It's all new for us, so just do your best and everything will be all right. All right, guys, so that is all that I have for today. I hope, you get some type of use out of these couple of gems that I dropped. If you want to learn more about organizing, or if you just want organizing tips, you can definitely follow me on Instagram. My name is @project_Brit. So that's PROJECT_BRIT. If you are actually looking to increase your productivity and, start living your best life, please feel free to connect with me on either Project Brit or check out my website. It's touchofminimalism.design. I would definitely love to be able to connect with you and help you along the way. Again, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Until next time, stay safe and healthy, and go ahead and arrest Breonna Taylor's killers. Peace. All right, guys, that is it for us. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you would like to get into some more fun, follow us on social media. On Instagram, we are at Bad and Bougie Moms. On Facebook, @The Bad and Bougie Moms. And also on Twitter, @BBM_podcast. Make sure you like, share, and comment on any of the podcast platforms that you listen to us on. Again, I hope you guys enjoy. See you later.